Hello, I'm Magic Mike, and today we're going to go over all about PF cakes, what they are, and how to make them. For some reason, there's a lot of false sentiment about the PF Tek out there, like how it's outdated and only for newbies. That's like saying ravioli is outdated because it's been around for generations. I mean, it's not as pretty as a monotub, but you could argue that it's more versatile and definitely more user-friendly. Stop hating. Here's the PF Tek from front to back. Let's get it. The PF Tek. Before we get into it, I want to go over some pros and cons of this tech. Pros. The big one is that it's good to shoot spores into. Now this is a misnomer, as there is always a chance you could contaminate anything when using a multi-spore syringe, but it's essentially a race between the mycelium and the contamination as to which will take a hold first. The simple act of mixing brown rice flour and vermiculite creates a medium that somehow resists bacterial contamination while also being favorable to mycelium, giving you an advantage to win the race, so to speak. With the proper sterile technique, this tech is nearly foolproof. In the beginning with the spores, your success rate will vary. Don't fret about contaminations. Your focus right now is working on sterile technique and getting used to doing things in an SAB. You'll notice your success rates will increase the more and more you do it. PF cakes can be steam sterilized. It's true you don't need a pressure cooker to sterilize a PF cake. This is in contrast to grain, which cannot be sterilized without a pressure cooker. PF cakes have clear sides, allowing you to monitor the mycelium growth and also catch contaminations. It is much more forgiving to throw out a couple of jars than it is to throw away a whole bag of grain with like half your spores in it, or even worse, an entire tray of spawn in bulk. By using clean spawn and a proper fruiting setup, you can pretty much supply yourself well. Anyone who says otherwise is either lying to you or haven't done this long enough. You can spawn cakes to bulk substrates as the same as grains, so if you wanted to do a tub, you can absolutely achieve this with the PF Tek. The skills you do in the PF Tek, such as managing surface conditions, when and how much FAE you introduce, sterile technique, getting to field capacity, they directly translate to when you do tubs. It's vital to hone these skills with an easy to work with tech in the beginning so you can properly manage and assess your grows down the line. And now, the cons. The only ones I can think of is that it doesn't yield as much as monotubs, and it's honestly a bitch to steam sterilize a lot of jars in batches. This is where a pressure cooker comes in handy. Now, I'll give you a quick overview of the components and dive right into the steps. Follow them as is and don't cut corners. It's basically a quarter or half pint mason jar with a mix of 2 parts hydrated verm and brown rice flour. The hole placement is important too. You want your mycelium to grow evenly through the jar. Oh, and the dry verm layer is important. That keeps your contaminations out. I'll go over these in detail. Grind your rice, pretty simple. Anything from a coffee grinder to a NutriBullet will work. Next, you want to measure 2 parts vermiculite and hydrate it with 1 part water. Mix it well, and you notice that the consistency is very wet. 1 part water usually makes 2 parts of vermiculite a little past field capacity, so the next really important step is to squeeze the excess liquid from the vermiculite. When you take a handful of overly wet vermiculite and squeeze it until just a little or to no water comes out, what you have in your hand is considered field capacity. You need to get a feel for this, as a lot of things in this hobby are related to field capacity. Anything wetter than field capacity will favor bacteria, and we don't want that. You notice when I grab this verm again and squeeze it, only a little water comes out. This is perfect and a step you don't want to skimp on. The next step is to mix in 1 part dry brown rice flour with your hydrated verm. And this is my favorite step because it smells amazing and it's fun to play with. When done correctly, it should have the consistency of moon sand, damp but crumbly. If it feels like wet Play-Doh, you went too far with hydrating the vermiculite. Next, get your mason jars. Keep them right in the box, hold one, and start drilling holes. You want 1 hole in a square pattern like shown on the previous slide for a total of 4 holes. Then load your mixture into the jars. Tamp it down but don't squish it in there. You want to make sure there's no empty pockets in the jar, but you don't want to overly compress it. Tamping helps the cake not shrink as much. If the cake shrinks too much, then the dry verm layer can get messed up and let in contaminations. Leave like an inch space for your dry verm layer. I like to use the rim as a guide. This next step is really important as well. You need to wipe the rims clean, spotless. If an A-axis substrate is on the rim, it will be a vector for contamination. Then, top it with dry vermiculite. You want no gaps and you want it level with the rim. Then cap it and wrap the top with foil. Once you made all your jars, the next process is to steam sterilize them. It's around 90 to 120 minutes from the time of steam production to end, or pressure cook at 15 psi for 45 to 60 minutes. Turn off the burner and let the jars cool in the pot. When they are cool, take out and inoculate, preferably in an SAB. You want no more than 0.25 cc's in each hole for a total of 1 cc per jar. Any more and you risk moisture imbalance and favoring contaminations. Last, you want to incubate these at room temperature with the foil off. Don't worry, the dry verm layer will keep things clean. Your time of colonization will vary. Just be patient and watch for contaminations. And that's pretty much everything. Thanks for watching. Please rate and leave a comment. Subscribe if you want. There's more content to come. That's all for now. Until next time, peace.
Yeah. Now I'm still dancing with 2 left feet, yeah. But with a little help, I can move on beat. Now I can moonwalk in 2 socks and groove all week. But I can't seem to 2-step, I lose my feet. Now I can shake it, I can shimmy, I can shuffle, I can gritty. You can gritty? I can gritty, it just don't look that pretty. And I can do this little walk too, it goes like this. It goes toe, 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 cross, yeah, that's it.